everyone, welcome to another episode of Dream Big. Today I have my special guest Akeisha here. Akeisha, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Akeisha Johnson. I work as a freelance contractor, writer, and life coach.
Awesome, Akeisha. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let me start by asking you, so what's your big dream?
That's a great question. Big dream, big dream. Ultimately, my big dream would be to run my own media company. It would look something like a HBO type of company where you have creative content, especially with the skew of being inspiring and empowering people in their lives through storytelling and entertainment.
Okay, and what inspires you about this?
Um, I think that what we see on television and in the media, we really take for granted as far as like the power it has on our thinking and our experience of living. I think that a lot of the stuff that we see in our media translates into what our desires are for our lives in the world. And what's inspiring is to think about really giving people media that gives them some juice and some motivation to be out there in the world creating really fantastic things for themselves and the rest of the world.
Mhm. And so with your big dream, like what do you see success as?
Hmm. I really see success as me taking on different projects. Like a new project that I have is a podcast called uh, "How How Do You Afford to Live in the City?" and just having the conversations with people about what they want their impact to be. Very similar to Dream Big and what you're doing here is having people really look at what's inspiring for them so that they know that there's other people in the world who are doing things they want to be doing, and that there's a way for them to get to it and be about it and have it happen in real life and not just in their minds.
Hmm. Yeah, and Akeisha, I've known you for quite a while now, and you're such an inspiration to me. You've done so many things, and why don't you tell people about your Haiti project as well?
Sure. So the Oshun Project is a program that I started in late 2010, early 2011, out of a program that I did with Landmark Worldwide called the Self-Expression and Leadership Program. They had us put together a community project that was focused on something we really cared about. And for me, I was really interested in sustainability as far as green technology and in ways to, really have things working in a way that would work for everybody and not just in a short-term period of time. And then I was really interested in working in Haiti as one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere, excuse me, the poorest country, right? So the idea behind the project was to empower Haitian communities using sustainable methods and technology. Um, and we worked on that. I put together a team of people at the George Washington University. That's where I worked at the time, and that was the community that I gathered to get the program and the project up and running. And last year in April, we installed a water filtration system in partnership with an organization in Haiti called MP3K, and their focus is on agricultural products and I'm giving people access to food and repopulating the vegetation in Haiti and doing work like that, really empowering people economically. So we partnered with them for a water filtration system that was solar generated. And we worked with a couple of different agencies. We worked with the organization called Living Waters of the World. We worked with a church community called the Bower Hill Community Church, and we installed the water filtration system. And so we've been in a relationship with them now for almost 3 years, and we're working on another project, which is a social enterprise market, which has the sustainability component that the profits for the market go back to the community to fund scholarships for local kids there. So, we're now in the development stages of that new project within the program that the Oshun Project is, and we're looking at grants and funding sources, having more people work with us and having different ways that we work with the community. So it's always like a learning process. That's the thing that's really cool, right? Like there's not one way to do it. We did one project and we did it that way, and there are certain things that worked really great, and there were other things that didn't work so great. And so what we're doing now with our next project is fine tuning things and seeing what worked and what didn't work, and putting in different ways and different avenues so that we can actually get this next project up and running inside of our commitment to empower Haitian communities as opposed to give them charity and donations. We're more looking to empower what they're up to and help them find resources to put it together and give attention to the causes that they have.
Wow, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
Um, you're so self motivating and self generating. What advice do you have for others who are afraid to live their big dreams?
Um, I would really say it's it's really important to put yourself in a community of people who will encourage you to do those things. Like, I don't always have moments where I want to do work on Haiti, especially because there's always something, that you're having to deal with. One of the recent things that we're dealing with is the chikungunya fever, which is like a sickness that comes from mosquitoes, and it gives people fever-like symptoms, but it also really hurts people in their joints and their bones. And so it's debilitating for, anywhere from 1 week to a couple of weeks, depending on what's happening. And it's spreading quickly around Haiti. It started, I think they said, in Martinique, but it's spreading, and it's a concern. And so, dealing with that and having people who were stricken with that fever, and breakdowns with finances, and then, communication barriers, because culturally Haiti doesn't operate like the United States. And me having to get over that learning curve, it took something. And really, what got me to keep going was having people around me in my community that encouraged me to keep going and to look at things from different perspectives. So, I have a coach. I have several coaches who I talk to that keep me on track, especially when I don't feel motivated. And I have other people in my community who, encourage me to keep going, especially when I want to quit, because I want to quit like every week.
Don't we
Every
all?
week. Yeah, every week. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then, I have someone go, well, is that what really you want to stop? And I'm like, oh, well, okay, maybe not really. And then I just, start getting back on track and doing stuff to make it happen.
Great. Well, thank you, Akeisha, so much for your time. This has been such an amazing story that you've contributed to us.
Thank you, Millie. Dream big. Yay.
Well, thanks everyone for watching this episode, and stay tuned for another episode of Dream Big. Thank you.
Ah.